first one is amount. Everyone say the word? Amount. Okay. So an amount is how much there is of something. So each glass has a different amount of orange juice. Okay, next word, material. Say it. Material is something you make clothes at. So this woman's looking at different kinds of materials, what you make things out of, not just clothes. The material is anything you use to make something. Okay, space. Say space. Space is the amount of air there is around something. So here's some space on the bookshelf. Example. Say the word. So a banana is an example of a fruit. So example means kind of. An ant is an example of an insect. Easily. Say the word. You can easily count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So easily is when something comes easily to you. It's not hard to do. Forms. Say the word. This is different forms of pasta. So forms means kinds. Planet. Say the word. Our Earth is a planet in our solar system. The planet we live on is Earth. And last one, tasty. Everyone say the word. Tasty. This pizza is really tasty. That means yummy. It's something that is good to eat. Okay, so yesterday we talked about inferring. Remember, inferring means when you use two things to put together to make a guess. Our schema, point to your brain. Schema is what's in our brain. We already know about it. When you look at a picture, what does it make you think of? That's your schema. Plus evidence. Where do we get the evidence from? Where do we find evidence in? No, schema is where we've been. Evidence, where do we get evidence, Grant? No, where do we get evidence, Xavier? In the book. So the words and the pictures in a story is our evidence. Schema is where you've been or what you've done and how you know things. So we take what we already know in our brain plus the pictures or the words in a story, and we can make guesses as to what something is or what's going to happen. Or we say maybe or perhaps or could be that or I predict or I infer or this could mean. Okay? So making inferences. When you make inferences, you use clues to make a smart guess about something the author doesn't tell you. Clues from the text and pictures, text or words, plus clues of things you already know, your schema equals an inference. So I want you to get out your reading books. Okay, so this story is called Many Kinds of Matter by Jennifer Boothroyd. Okay, this is an informational text, so it's non-fiction. Non-fiction, it means it gives facts about a topic. Facts are real things. We're going to learn information about matter. It has captions with arts and photos. It has photographs, and it has words and pictures that work together to help us understand. So we're going to read the story to make smart guesses or inferences about things the author does not say. So we'll use those clues in the words and the photos and what we know in our brain, our schema, to help us. So I want you to just quickly look through the book and see if there's something you recognize or something that you think this story is going to be about. So just go through the story and see if you can make any predictions on about what it's going to teach us or any inferences. Okay, many kinds of matter. Turn the page. Matter. Matter is everywhere. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. Mass is the amount of material in an object. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. We got 3 vocabulary words here. Amount is how much. Material is what something is made out of, and space is what is taking up. So matter has to have an amount of material and mass, and it has to have space. It has to take up space. So in the picture, I see a man and a boy holding onto a boat. The caption tells me that trees, lakes, trees, lakes, and people are matter. All have mass and volume. So are you matter? Yes. Does your desk matter? Yes. Anything that takes up mass, takes up space and volume, and is made of materials is matter. So do you think that boat is matter? Yes. Do you think that, did the author tell us the boat was matter? No, but we can infer, right? We can infer that that is matter because the author told us that anything that takes up mass and volume is matter. Let's go to the next page. There are three kinds of matter. The three kinds of matter are solids, liquids, gas. Okay? So which one of these do you think is liquid? Kate? The medicine. Which one of these do you think is solid? Chase? The rocks. Now, how can this one be gas? It's not really gas. What do you think, Cooper? No, electricity is not gas. Xavier? The steam comes out of it, and that steam is gas. That's right. Okay, let's go to the next page. Solids. Books, rocks, and toys are solids. Solid matter holds its own shape. That means it can't just go into any shape. It stays the same shape. Your desk doesn't turn into a different shape. Your water bottle doesn't turn into a different shape. Okay? Solids do not take the shape of their containers. Marbles fill a jar, but the marbles are still round. Okay, here's our captions. Point to these two captions. These are called captions in nonfiction books. So you need to be on the right page. Books are an example of solid. This shape of solids does not change when you put them in the container. So the marbles stay the same, they're just filling up a container. Solids are not easy to compress. Compress means to make them go flat. Would it be very easy to make your desk go flat? No. Compress means to squeeze something into a tight space. Bottles and cans are solids. It's not easy to squeeze them into this recycling bin. So let's make an inference. Why is a boy carrying the recycling bin? Why, Lily? Okay, he's going to take it out, but why does it need to be taken out? Heather? Okay, what do you think? Sydney? It's full. We can use our brain, or what we know that when something's full, you take it out, right? Like when the trash is full, our schema tells us we take the trash out. When the recycling bin's full, we take that out. So he's carrying it out. Good job. Next page. Solids do not flow. Solid candies don't spread across ice cream the way hot fudge does. So here's what the caption says. Candy sprinkles are solids. Do they spread out? No. They do not flow over the ice cream. However, the hot fudge does, so it is a liquid. Oil, syrups, and water are liquids. Liquid matter does not hold its own shape. Liquids take the shape of their container. So the liquid in here takes the shape of its container. Water inside a swimming pool takes the shape of a pool. So water in a square pool takes a square shape. Oil is one example of a liquid. That's what the captions read. Point to the two captions. Remember, nonfiction has captions that tell us what the picture is. Let's do an inference. What would happen if you poured the oil in the picture into a square pan? Would it still be this shape? What shape would it be, Blaze? If you poured it into a square pan? It would be a square. We learned that from the clues they said. We can use our schema and what we read to let us know that would be a square. Let's turn the page. Pancakes. Liquids are not easy to compress. Milk is a liquid. You couldn't fit this whole thing of milk in this little carton, could you? No. Liquids flow. Liquid syrup spreads across pancakes. So why couldn't you fit this thing of milk into this little container? Let's use our schema and what the author told us. Gracie? It's full, but why wouldn't we fit it into here if we poured it in here? Gracie? It's too small. Yeah, there would be too much. You can tell by looking at the picture that this is way bigger than this one. Okay, gases. Air, stream, and your breath, even your breath, are gases. Gas matter does not hold its own shape. Gases take the shape of their container. The air inside a hot air balloon takes the shape of the hot air balloon, or else it would be deflated. So you fill it with gas, the air is your gas, and then it takes the shape of the hot air balloon. Okay, next page. Gases are easy to compress. Carbon dioxide is a gas, and its inside are soda cans. And it's compressed or squeezed into the soda can. So that when you open the soda can, it goes pop, and it makes a big fizzle sound, right? So it's squeezed in the cans to give the soda bubbles. Let's point to the caption. Carbon dioxide rushes out of soda cans when you open them. So it's squeezed in there, so when you open it, it rushes out. Okay? Gases flow. The air inside a bubble spreads to fill the space inside the bubble. So think about your bubbles. When you blow into the wand, the air fills the bubbles and it makes a big circle. And that's how it fills up the bubble. The gas fills up the bubble. Matter and changes. So matter can change from one to the other. It can go from liquid solids into gases. Some solids can change to liquids. Some liquids can change to gases. Water is a special kind of matter. You know that water is a liquid, but it can easily be found in all three forms on our planet. So let me do my own inference. The text on this page that says that water can be found in all three forms on our planet. I know from reading that the three types of matter are liquids, solids, and gases. So using what I already know, I can infer that this page is telling me water can be a liquid. So here it is, a liquid in a stream. Water can be a solid, like the ice, or it can be a gas, like the liquid in this cup is changing into gas. Or the steam coming out of this geyser right here is gas. So the coffee is liquid, but the stuff coming out of it, the steam, is a gas. Water becomes a solid if it is cold. It turns into ice. So water turns into ice when it freezes. Water freezes when it reaches a temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Water becomes a gas if it's heated. So when you boil a pot of water on the stove, it turns into steam, which is a gas. Water turns into steam when it boils. Water boils when it reaches a temperature of 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. Turn the page. Water at any temperature can change into water vapor. Water vapor is a gas. We're going to learn about this in science. This change is called evaporation. So when water turns from liquid to gas, it's called evaporation. Point to the caption. Some people use a drying rack after washing their dishes. The dishes dry after the water evaporates. Water vapor can change back into liquid water when it cools in the air. This change is called condensation. So when the vapor in the air turns back into water, it's called condensation. So maybe you'll have a cup or something you're drinking and the water gets on the outside. That's because what's in it may be hotter outside and it's colder in your cup. So you can see condensation after a hot shower. The water vapor touches the shower door and turns back into a liquid. Have you ever seen that on the shower door?
Yeah, I heard it.
Or your mirror? Yes, that's right. Okay. Other matter can change forms too. Cheese is a solid, but it can melt when it gets hot. That means it changes into a liquid. Bread dipped in melted cheese is a tasty treat. Juice is a liquid. It freezes when it gets cold. It changes to a solid. Ice pops can be made by freezing juices, or freezing a solid into solid. We use solids, liquids, and gases every day. They are an important part of our lives and our